Hello, and welcome to another beautiful edition of the Locker Room and Voice of the People Television. I am Jerry Arpeliohai, and we've got a thrilling show for you today as it promises to be exciting. The usual suspect joins me today, talking about Ikechukwu and Mayowa, who are ready to break down all the action and share their hot takes on what's going down in the football world. I want to say we see all the comments on all our programs and we appreciate them. Those coming on the YouTube platform as well as those coming via the WhatsApp platform. You can also call in on the show today via the number showing on your screen to be a part of the show live. You can also, those who are watching us on Elsa TV, just try as much as possible to reach out. Definitely will appreciate you being a part of the locker room. Of course, less than 24 hours to seen the Super Eagles gloriously exiting the CHAN competition. We also saw, talking about the PFA Awards, it was inevitable. Mohamed Salah picking up the third PFA Player of the Year award, which is the first player to do so in the history of the English Premier League. Ikechukwu, so much to talk about in exciting world of football.
Yes, Jerry, good evening and good evening to our viewers. It's good to be here again in this very interesting Wednesday. Mo Salah actually did, the unthinkable, right? And of course, this season, after the season ended, a lot of persons, including myself, I actually said it yesterday that I was definitely going to actually pick it. It's a award to lose. And a lot of interesting recipients yesterday, including Trafford, the Man City goalkeeper. Winning the best player in the Sky Bet Championship. It says a lot about, how far he's actually put in the weight and why Man City actually is trusting him to actually be a good contender for the number one spot for their goalkeeping department. Again, aside that particular award, I think the rest of the award really very much expected. Congratulations once again to Mo Salah and of course Liverpool. I just hope that he continues to actually give them his best. It's actually aging, but of course his experience and what he brings to the Liverpool team is still very, very laudable. It's a good time to be a Liverpool fan, I must say, for those who are actually Liverpool fans.
All right, for those who are actually Liverpool fans, very interesting. Mayowa, it's great to have you join us. I know, okay, Mayowa is still not yet in. I think he's talking to Kuna and asking when what happened over the weekend. Don't worry, maybe in their next 4 or 5 games. I think their next game is against Fulham. We'll wait to see how that progresses. But let's talk about the big story right now, where Barnsley manager Conor Hourihane has confirmed that Nigerian midfielder Kelechi Nwakali is free to leave the club before the transfer window closes. Nwakali was banished from training after resuming late from his holiday in Nigeria and was subsequently omitted from the squad for several games. And Hourihane stated that Nwakali isn't part of his plans for the season and the club aims to move him on before the transfer window closes. This isn't the first time Nwakali has faced disciplinary action, as he was previously sacked by Spanish side Huesca for a similar offense. With 2 years remaining on his contract, it may not be a straightforward process for Barnsley to offload him. However, Hourihane seems determined to move Nwakali on, citing the club's plans to reshape the squad. Nwakali's future at Barnsley looks uncertain, and it remains to be seen where he will end up before the transfer window closes. And the Nigerian international appeared in 26 games for the club last season, but his disciplinary issues have clearly impacted his standing with the team. It's really, really shameful because this guy started his football career with a lot of promise. He won the Golden Ball at the under-17 level, made the move to Arsenal. Immediately he joined Arsenal. I don't know, winning discipline just came from nowhere. He started moving to lowly club sides on loan. 3 times he went. From there, he was just moving to obscure club sides. And look at where he is. He's playing in League One. And still yet, at 27, he's not taking his club football seriously.
For those who really don't know Kelechi Nwakali, right? He's the brain behind Nigeria winning the Under-17 World Cup in 2015, right? The Victor Osimhen era. And this guy was seen as, the the last or the next big thing after Mikel Obi in the Super Eagles, right? He showed a lot of promise. He actually dictated the. In fact, if you watch the final against, I think it was against Mali, who played that final. The Golden Eaglet. He was so mercurial in the middle of the park, and we're hoping that this guy is going to be that man who's going to solve our creativity problem in the midfield because he's got loads of talent. But then after that particular move to Arsenal, this is one thing that happens to a lot of players, right? You move to a next level, you're expected to become a professional, stay on business, do your job, and improve your game. But squander the opportunities, just like the same Kelechi Iheanacho also moved to Manchester City and begins to decline. This is exactly the same problem, Kelechi Nwakali is got. And it's sad that, we are even having this conversation because I look at him and when I saw the news, I was sad because this is a player that a lot of us were even expecting. At this time, he was supposed to be a mainstay in the Super Eagles. That midfield problem we're having, and we shouldn't be having it if this guy's actually lived up to his promise and of course the quality he has. It goes a long way to actually remind us that a lot of players are actually not even playing this game because they want to be superstar tomorrow. They just want to do it to escape poverty. They just want to do it to be comfortable in life. And at that point where he's got that comfort, he's playing in Europe. What else we expecting? And I mean, imagine the coach even saying that this is not the first time he's actually doing it. He did it in La Liga where he got punished, and now he's doing it in Barnsley. Trust me, which club? I mean, this is the second time. Which club want to take you serious on your third offer? These are the big issues. And if it happened elsewhere, another club decided to take a chance on you, which other club want to take another chance on you? And the funny thing about the implication of these things is that these players have carried out actions like this, don't even know that the repercussion is not going to be on them alone. Every single Nigerian player across Europe will be on the spotlight. Every little thing that other people would have done and other people would do, and they'll just ignore, just look away. If it's a Nigerian player, it becomes an issue that they want to magnify because it's going to become a growing trend. Remember the case of Chidera Ejuke, the one that came back, he's injured, and then he was spotted playing street football where he was badly kicked. These are the sort of incidents you look at these things as an investor or a club owner or a coach. You will not want to invest in people who have shown this sort of attitude. I think at this point, aside the fact that clubs are actually grooming players to become better footballers, it's also shape them to become better professionals, because it's not just about playing now. It's all encompassing. What you're actually bringing off the field. How are you going to protect the image of the club side that you're actually with? These are the things that actually define who a real player is and who a true professional is. We have this sort of character across Europe too. They from Brazil, from other parts of the world, but it shouldn't be with us. I mean, it's becoming a recurring decimal in this part of the world, and it's not good for our football. It's not even good for people who will be coming after this guy. It's so unfortunate that we're having this conversation, sincerely.
There was a video that came up online. That was when he was playing for Chaves in Portugal, where he was pressing his phone while sitting on the bench. It shows you the kind of indiscipline that this young man actually has towards his professional football career. He feels that he has arrived, that there's no need to put pressure. And I think it's unfair to club sides who pay a lot of money to get these players in and have so much expectations from them, because he still has a 2-year contract. If you cannot do it at Chaves, at Huesca, and at Barnsley, what's left for you? You should take a bow, go and maybe start working in... he has forgotten, I don't know his academic qualifications. I hope he has academic qualifications to fall back on. If football leaves him today, what is he going to fall back on? Is he going to gulp all the savings he made? Because I know as he returns to Nigeria, maybe he will have a modest accommodation somewhere on the island and so on and so forth. What's next? How much has he made in his football career that he's already behaving like even Osimhen will not go late for preseason games, as big as he is. Imagine Cristiano Ronaldo, with all the money he has, he doesn't joke with appearing on time for preseason games. Messi, is he as big as Messi? Lionel Messi, even as underrated as the MLS club is, as big as Messi is, he will not report late. So what is making Chidebere Nwakali report late to Barnsley football career for a joke?
So a lot of these players also don't know that one thing that defines a true sportsman is your integrity. And integrity cannot, come without you being very disciplined, right? And over the years, the story of Etimesian has been elaborated. People have talked about. In fact, he's personally come on various occasions to talk about how his football career was ruined. I mean,
due to discipline.
Due to his own indiscipline. I want to believe that a lot of players have seen this, they've heard it. People, in fact, the coach that actually groomed him at some point in Nigeria must have told that story, because that's a story that, every single time it keeps coming up, because Etimesian was a very, very talented player in his playing days. So, I mean, most of the players now that are doing these things are not even half as talented as Etimesian. So that's exactly why his story will always stand out. Now you have the opportunity to actually make the next big move. You got there. I think for every sane person, it should be that point where, there's nothing else but your career. And it goes back to always also say that it's either he doesn't have someone that he listens to, or he chooses not to listen because, I mean, he feels he's right. But I want to believe it's the later, because when a player is actually moving at that level, at this age, because Nwankali is actually quite young, right? It's not like the very old players who actually got into the flying golden eaglet. It's actually young. It's very well in the age range of Victor Osimhen. Now, I want to believe that at that age that he left, he's still very much open, or should be actually be able to have someone who can actually control him. So it's either that person cannot control him because the person doesn't have what it takes to actually control him, or he himself, does not just have the person. And that spells room for a young player who is actually moving abroad, quite early, and then seeing all the goodies of life. Because apart from what's happening to him in football, we've seen this thing happen in other sports too. If you don't have someone who appears to you, who is like a father figure to you, is definitely going to ruin you when you start climbing up the ladder. Guys, so many cases. It also happened to the legendary Mike Tyson when he lost his father figure in boxing. Talking about the Costa de Amato. But if you have all of these people, right? If you don't have these people, it's really going to affect you. And look at Victor Osimhen. Obviously, Victor Osimhen at some point listened to people while he was actually moving up the ranks. Until obviously when perhaps now he's very, very big, and maybe he doesn't have someone who actually talk to him again, or he's way bigger than whoever is speaking to him now. But then until you get to that level, right? If you don't have people who form and make your image or create your image or put you in a position where you actually need to grow properly, is definitely bound. Most times you don't get to succeed. Only very few people tend to actually escape this particular luxury that comes with playing at this level. And that's exactly what happened to Nwankali. I just hope that other players will use his own case to actually learn, because this is life generally. A lot of people will still see this story, they will still not learn, they will still do that which they want to do, and it's so unfortunate because it's rubbing off on our football. People will begin to see Nigerian players as a bad brand, as people who are not worthy to be invested in, and it's a big problem because, I mean, if we don't have our players who can actually move up to the next level, then of course how are they going to even develop? Because we have a very terrible system here that will not even allow them to develop in the first instance. So you see how terrible our situation is. We are badly locked, and we need to just find a way to actually start retelling and reshaping our image. It's a bad time. It's really a bad time to be a Nigerian footballer at this point.
All right, I understand that Maiwa is now with us. Maiwa, I would love you to react to this. The story of Kelechi Nwankali looks like it's not really turning out well for him. He had a lot of promise, but it looks like that is going down the drain. If not, it has already gone down the drain.
Well, it's always amazing to be here, and congratulations to you for Salah winning. I was trying to pull your legs yesterday, but
you tried. You did well. At least we have.
That did not work. Congratulations to Salah. And,
we have 6 Liverpool players on the PFA team, including Isaac and Kekes.
Which Isaac again? Is Isaac your player?
He's incoming now. You can see he did an open tantrum now. Everybody saw it. Did you watch the PFA
but wait now
awards?
until you sign him now.
Don't worry, it's confirmed. Don't worry. Just be calm.
No problem.
Well, it shows how good you guys are. I mean, you guys are on top of everything, and congratulations to you guys. For the Nwakali story, this is not the first time it's happening. Remember, he played for USCA before, and the same thing happened to him in USCA. You cannot continue to allow indiscipline to ruin, your place. No matter how talented you are, if you allow the spirit of indiscipline to creep in, it will definitely ruin you, and that has happened on 2 occasions. The Fillers added that they've already told them you are to resume before the championship started, and the Nwakali decided to return very late. They had actually played their first game before he decided to show up in camp with no valid excuse. So I mean, it's very correct, and it's not as if it's a very integral part of the team. You don't pull that much weight. You are just a squad member, yet you are throwing tantrums. I think I support the club. You cannot continue to condone the discipline if you have been able to do it somewhere else and you got punished for that. I think that should have been a lesson to you, but now he's doing it again. And for next year.
Okay, Maiwa, we're struggling to get you there. Definitely, I know he's actually supporting the club side. Talking about Barnsley, I remember Barnsley used to have a Nigerian player back then who was doing well. I think Kayode something, Adedeji or something, who scored, was it against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, the Carling Cup game?
Is it Kayode Bankole?
Yeah, Carling Cup or FA Cup game. And of course, Liverpool signed a player from Barnsley one time, talking about their captain. I can't really remember his name right now. Barnsley used to be a modest club side, but if you're playing in Barnsley, as far as English football is concerned, you're not rated. And if you're playing there, you cannot make it. I don't know where he's going to make it. Maybe he'll come back home and play in the NPFL. I think we need such talent.
Remo Stars.
I don't think Remo Stars will tolerate coming late. Remo Stars is just signed 2 Malian players from Mali in their side. But it is what it is. I wish him all the best. He was a player a lot of Nigerians were hoping would break the ceiling and move to the next level. And I don't even know about his younger brother too.
I think he's the younger. The other was the...
Chidebere.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. The other was one at Man City.
Yeah. And yes. I don't know what also happened to him too.
That one actually is not a case of injuries. That one's, I don't know, not even injuries. He just failed to actually break the ceiling at Manchester City.
It could also be discipline too. Because what did he do after leaving Man City too? What has he done? Because he just breached that. I think I even had Tottenham wanted to get him at a point in time. That didn't happen.
Because that one was the one that played. I think that one played with Kelechi Iheanacho. They actually moved to Manchester City together. And then this is the younger brother who we were like, okay, this is a better player to compare to his brother, and he's got a lot of talent. Let's see if this one can actually break, the ceiling and become the superstar we're expecting. But
can we see his village people?
Well,
I don't know. They had so much promise, but it did not happen for them. Would I say I wish them all the best?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the Chan Eagles. I think Ikechukwu will be happy with this information that Super Eagles coach Richard regrets benching midfielder Alex Oyonwa during the Chan tournament. Oyonwa, a 20-year-old Remo Stars player, made a strong debut in Nigeria's 2-0 win over Congo, earning the Man of the Match award. Chel lamented not giving Oyonwa regular game time alongside Anas, who was also awesome in that game, Anas Yusuf, who scored Nigeria's first goal in the tournament. Oyonwa's impressive performance in the dead rubber game announced himself to the world despite not playing in the first 2 games, and Chel's decision to bench him was one of his regrets, and he emphasized the need for players to be ready for games moving forward. And Chel's comments highlight the potential of Oyonwa and Yusuf, who could be key players for the Super Eagles in the future. And Oyonwa's Man of the Match award and Yusuf's goal-scoring ability make them exciting prospects for Nigerian football. Is it pretty too early to start asking that they be drafted immediately in September to be a part of the Super Eagles?
Well,
let's talk about him not using these players initially.
Jerry, right? This goes back to what I was saying when we lost our. In fact, before the tournament, Eric Chel obviously don't know these boys. let's stop deceiving ourselves. He doesn't know them.
So what about the assistant? What were they
No,
supposed
the
to
big
do?
question is, why would the NFF allow Eric Chell take the lead? That's the question. He doesn't know these guys. Right. So the ones that you know is the Super Eagles player. Of course, you can watch those ones in the league. You've seen them. You've actually held sessions with them, at least 2 games. So you know them. You can actually go get 1 or 2 foreign. But this is a tournament.
And you say he didn't take advice from Ogumodede because somehow my colleagues have called them the Remo Stars team. Remo Stars Eagles, Chan Eagles. Because most of those players who persecuted this competition were mostly Remo Stars, which is not ordinarily supposed to be. It should cut across. If you won the league, doesn't mean that you have the best players. Imagine Liverpool won the league, and you now see, for instance, England wants to parade their team. They will now bring all players from Liverpool because Liverpool won the Premier League. It doesn't happen that way. If Liverpool won the league, doesn't mean that the goalkeeper, the defense, the midfield, the attack, they have all the best players in the league. That's not how it works. Okay, look at the PFA team. You have just 4 Liverpool players. Meaning that Sales was awesome last season for Nottingham Forest. He should be the best goalkeeper in the PFA team. Same with Kekesh. He played for Bournemouth. He was awesome. He should be in the left back. That is how Declan Rice was awesome in the midfield. He is there. But going to the Chan, we saw a Remo Stars and others. That is not supposed to be.
Jerry, look at that Chan Eagles team. Look at the team that qualified for the championship. You understand what we are saying. 2 different teams. 2 different teams. Now, even if you decide to go with 2 different teams, right? It is still the local coaches that can identify the strength and the weakness of these guys. Allow them handle it.
What if Ogumodede was the one who practically made sure that all his Remo Stars players were in that team?
Jerry, that's what I'm saying. That even if that's the case, that Ogumodede decided, okay, we won the league, use this influence and bring all Remo Stars players. Even if that's the case, allow the local league players and the local league coach that understand how these guys play. You understand? Allow them to handle this project. This is not an exchange project. It doesn't know these players. And one of the things that will make a team work is that the supervisor or whoever it is that is handling the project understand the strength and the weaknesses of the key players in that particular project. He doesn't know that. It was obvious, and that's why he's actually regretting not starting this guy. At this point, it was a dead rubber game. That's why I gave him an opportunity. So it was what was laid to him that, okay, these are the first set of players, and that's it. I, for one, would not, if I were, the NFF chairman or the NSC, I would not have handed that job over. I can say you can go there to watch, but you don't have any business. You can advise the coaches after the game.
But journalists will not be happy that he didn't take the first
No.
They will say he's avoiding looking at the home-based team.
No, Jerry,
that he should be the one in charge.
Jerry, that is where proper communication comes in. Before the tournament, they would have explained, this coach is new. Let's allow the man who took them to the championship to do the
journalists
job.
will still not be happy. They will say he's avoiding coaching them.
Jerry,
that is just an excuse on the part of the NFL. We've seen situations like this before.
If you satisfy, if
it satisfy you, but
no, Jerry, let me ask you now, as a person, right, as a journalist, NFF rolled out this thing and say, okay, these guys have already qualified. Eric Chell is actually new. He doesn't understand how the league operates. He's going to be there. He's going to watch, but these local coaches are still going to handle it. Will you have problem with that?
Some will have problem with that.
No.
The clause will be.
No, you. Will you have problem?
I will not have problem with that.
Do you know what I ask you if you have? I know that a good number of persons will look at it that way and say, okay, fine.
Very few number of
persons. No, Jerry, no. Majority of the persons will agree that, okay, they will understand.
They will say, since he has already started coaching the Super Eagles, at least he wouldn't have give. Okay, why did he give excuse that he's new?
No.
Let him understudy
the Super Eagles players, even while at the last Nations Cup.
Okay.
I want to believe at some point Che actually watched the Nigerian game.
Oh, really?
Yes, because he knows that, okay, these guys are a very strong contender at some point. I mean, when Nigeria is playing, let's watch. So he must have known some of these players.
So is it fact because our league is not on TV, that could also be a problem too?
Exactly one of the reasons why I said he doesn't have any business with that Chan Eagles at this point. There's a lot of pressure on him. Let him focus on the major assignment. Our major assignment now is to actually go to the World Cup.
So you say this Chan competition was a major distraction for Eric Chell?
Absolutely.
And it might affect his chances in September?
Because now losing out the way he did is definitely going to be... Yes. It's psychologically for him. It's psychological for him. So that's why I'm saying that he shouldn't have been the one that should have led this team. So whatever happens, he will just go there and even if it's just to take note, okay, this player can actually be good for the Super Eagles. This player can pen it down, but focus on the main task ahead. Because the truth is, those coaches that did that job, qualifying these guys for that tournament, will not even be happy with the fact that they were sidelined for this tournament. So even giving their best input for the team is going to come with a big question. I'm not saying they are bad, terrible people. I'm just looking at it from a human standpoint. These guys did the job for this particular championship. The best way to reward them is to allow them handle it.
All right, let's take to my wife. My wife will have us back because we want to talk about this chance situation. Somehow he says he's regretting not using some players. You saw the first game, and we expect that there should be upgrade for the second game. We make the bold move and bench players. That's why somehow I still respect Madugu till tomorrow. I want to use him as an example. If Madugu was to be in that team, in that situation, I think he would have made bold decisions. That is what I found that it's an issue with Eric Chell.
No, Jerry. Madugu has been the assistant coach before.
Let me learn.
He knows these girls.
Yeah, he knows.
Yes.
He knows the girls. Fine. Yes. But there were a lot of new players in that team he didn't really know. Jerry. That he gave chances ahead of the players he already knew. That's one thing you should give to him. He has not seen much of a change in it before this competition. You have to take that. Well, he has not seen much of Esther Okoronkwo, but what he saw in training and the promises of what he has seen definitely for their club side.
He has seen Okoronkwo,
yes,
but
in their club side. In their club side, he must have seen most of them. But coming into the team,
Eric doesn't know this team, Jerry.
Yeah, Eric doesn't know this team.
It's difficult. Okay, let's the first thing was even an advice from those coaches.
Let's not forget he was part of their training camp in Remo.
So Ikechukwu, the thing is this: I think Israel is making a lot of excuses, and that is not right. We should not be, I'm in full support of Excel taking over the national team and the rest of that, but we should not, give him a slap on the wrist because of all these excuses. He has been making excuses, and I don't buy the excuse. Jerry made the mention of something that's very, very important. Madugu came; he brought in 9 new players to the Super Falcons team. A lot of people raised an eyebrow about players that were dropped. But the bottom line is
all right.
The team result.
All right, Mario, we're struggling to hear you due to the technical issues. Definitely was going to buttress the point that Eric Chell is making excuses and he will not take it. And of course, let's also look at the fact that the Zimbabwe game, for instance, we had issues in defense in terms of Just Ekong was already tiring out. He should have made a bold move to include more defenders, but he kept on looking for more goals. And he forgot that Zimbabwe is a team that knows how to come back in the dying minutes of the game. They did that in the previous game. That was against Benin Republic. They were 2-0 down. They came back and drew 2-2. That would have told you that this is a team that like to wait to the dying minutes of the game. He should have read that and prepare for the unforeseen circumstances. But he didn't do that. He kept on looking for a goal and he paid dearly for it. Now we're going to this event.
That one is on him. That was a clear tactical error.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, everybody who understand how football works, who understand that for every time of the game, there are peculiar tactical moves you have to make.
Yeah.
When a game is around the 70th to 90th minute, is that time where coaches who are in the driving seat, that's advantage, leading,
secure their lead.
Is that point where you start to play what is called game management, try to actually wear down your position psychologically to ensure that, you either get more goals or, it ends the way it is. But he actually played his own self because he felt that, since he is better than the Super Eagles have shown that they are actually very much in that game and they can actually take one more goal and then lock up shop. He played himself. That's clearly a wrong tactical move. We've seen the best coaches in the world also make this wrong tactical move. It happens to the best of them. But for the case of this one, Madugu has been with the female team for a long time. He understands how the operations of Nigerian Super Falcons work. So bringing in players, he understands that these are the players he's bringing, and he must have seen them at some point because he understands how that plane works. Eric Shell does not understand how the Chan Eagles team works. He doesn't even know the players that actually qualified for the Chan tournament. Talk more of the one that he actually saw in camp.
Okay.
So all of these things are the problem.
Right.
So before you make a move, see, Jerry, before
okay. Ikechu, sorry to cut the short. We understand that we have a caller. And hello, you're welcome to the locker room.
Go to read. Mr. Jerry, I just want to buttress a little bit what you guys are saying.
Okay.
For real, none of the coaches, they don't want to take risk. As far as I like Austin Iguanfon when he's coaching the Eagles, but he doesn't want to reserve those people. Maybe they are, I don't know, maybe they are scared of them, or they don't want to. Madugu, like you said, is a very good coach to me because he takes the risks and then release work. That's what happened to Eric Scheller. Eric Scheller, he doesn't know them like Ikechukwu said, but at the same time, let the people that have qualified them before and the people that know them very well, let them handle the team. I was very disappointed on those players because that's the reason why I didn't call in from since like almost last week. Like, okay, we are rooting for these guys that they can make it to the Super Eagles. They don't give us talk. They give us mouth to talk. I mean, look at what happened yesterday. I mean, I look at that number 20 like, okay, this guy is there. Look at the way they are moving. Even that announcer or whatever. Even Alimi find himself yesterday. He can even play. Look at the way they are moving the ball. I don't know. I mean, and you guys nail it. I mean, you nail it on the air. Those coaches, they don't want to take risk. I remember a long time ago when Siasia first when nominated him as the coach of Nigeria at that time, he was mentioning that Nigerian home base, they don't coach very well. They don't know how to play because he doesn't want to put his hand there because he doesn't want to mess up his job. And then these people, they know how to play, but they just need somebody that can listen to the person that know them very well. I think that was it. They don't want to take risk. And then if you don't want to take risk, that's why I like Bonflejo too. Look at what Bonflejo did on 1996 Atlanta. He put everybody together, testing to see who know him, especially Nigeria. I mean, he brought him semi-final. Semi-final that they are leading us for like 4-3-1 or something. Look at what they're turning to at the end of the day. Right. So I mean, some coaches they need to take risks. I mean, you guys are right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dari, calling us from Chicago there, and of course, spot on, and quite a very interesting one. But let's talk about more this time around because if we talk about the Chan Eagles, I think we'll have 3 hours and we'll still not be able to exhaust it because somehow a lot of Nigerians don't. I think I even saw on the X handle Super Eagles, Nigerians comment, they're saying, thank you very much, start coming home. They didn't want them to even play the Congo game. They say, okay, so you can even win. Oh, congratulations, start coming home. No need to waste more time. Anyway, we hear that Super Eagles forward Victor Boniface is close to joining AC Milan from Bayer Leverkusen. I think maybe this might give him another new lease of life. We understand that he has accepted the terms. Maybe Eric Ten Hag don't really look at him as part of their plans. I've already said it, with what he has done in the preseason and going to their first game this season, I think moving to AC Milan will give him another breath of fresh air. True.
AC Milan is a big leap. I mean, the tradition, the history of the club, says a lot about that move for him. I think it's going to be it's also going to help him settle. There's also another Nigerian Super Eagles player, Samuel Chukwueze. So and if there's anything about transfer that I know, if a player is actually moving from a club to another, it means that you are very much part of the project of the club of the new coach, and obviously you're definitely going to have a good number of playing time. I think it's going to be a big one for him. I just hope that he sees this opportunity, gain back his confidence, because the truth is Victor Boniface has really lost confidence as a player. The whole drama, the whole Super Eagles thing, the injury, everything actually weighed him down. So this is going to be a fresh start for him. I just hope he shines like a million star in the Serie A. And if he does that in Serie A, trust me, he's definitely going to catch the attention of the world. Serie A is one very, very important league in top five leagues in Europe. So I wish him the best of luck. Let him go there and rejuvenate his career and become the same Victor Boniface that we saw and who were once very hopeful that this guy is going to actually take charge when Victor Osimhen is not available. And unfortunately, he hasn't actually lived up to expectation. But this is a very big call for him. I just hope that he ends up, pulling through.
All right, definitely to move every one of us. We'll be looking forward to see how it goes through, because it's going to be a very difficult call. But let's talk about Alexander Isak, the Newcastle United striker, has accused the club of breaking promises amid a transfer saga. Isak, who was named the PFA team of the season, expressed his frustration on social media, stating that promises were made and trust was lost. He hinted that change is the best interest of everyone, fueling speculation about his future at Newcastle United. We understand, taking a look at the trajectory of this move, before he even made the move to Newcastle United, his ambition was to move to Liverpool, and he made it clear to Newcastle United, and they said they understood that if an offer comes, they will let him leave. And when Stavely, who eventually aborted that move to happen, was already discussing that he was going to increase his wages, that was last season, after having a good season, a decent season. The club side, when Stavely left, in terms of club director and so on and so forth, they reneged on increasing his wages and giving him improved contract. He felt bad. And his entourage was already looking like this is not the club for them. And they said they were going to increase his wages. They refused to do that. And now he wants to leave. They don't want to let him go. And Newcastle, there's nothing like that. He's a Newcastle player. He's going nowhere. So it's the word of him. And Gomes, who's the captain of the side, also released a cryptic picture. In terms of, I don't know, it says a lot like, this is really what is happening. So all of this, how do you see the situation of Isak still remaining in that club side, still playing for that club side? How the fans who have already started burning his jerseys, how is his relationship and his football career is going to look like going forward if he's going to remain at Newcastle United?
I mean, the catchword is, relationship is broken, love, trust is lost, and the best way forward is for us to go our separate ways. I think that's the catchword. There's no way, they can actually settle this at this point. His soul, everything about him is not in the tunes again. He doesn't want to play for Newcastle, and it's so unfortunate that the offer that they actually want. No club is yet to meet that particular valuation. Maybe that's the only reason they have to hold him down. But I think the case of Ademola Lookman and Isak should be a point of reference for players now to understand that verbal contract is not a contract. When they say don't worry, when the time comes, you go. Tell them to put it down.
Write it down.
Do you understand?
Sign it.
Let them put it down, because now every single time, you remember Ademola Lookman also said promise was broken, and now he's saying promise is broken. So the issue, it means there's something about these club's owners and these star players. They want to keep you. They say, don't worry, when the time you go, you will allow you go. Tell them to put it on paper, black and white, so that everybody will understand what they are dealing with. So that tomorrow, there will not be any issue of, I want to leave, but you agreed. And this one say, no. Okay, what happens if the person that you agreed with
leaves the club?
You even talking about leaving the club. Dies before that time.
And even deny you.
Or even deny you, like we're having it. You know, this same thing is one of the reasons why the Gimenez guys is unable to make a move. A lot of clubs came for him, but
stopping them.
But they don't want to sell. So these are the things when you sit down, have a contract, and you say, okay, boss, I want to leave next season. Okay, you want to leave? Don't worry. If the right offer comes, what do you mean by the right offer comes? Let's put it on paper.
What is the right offer?
What is the right offer? So that you understand that I have this place I want to go. Okay, if this money comes, let's put it on paper. Let it be here. So that when the time comes and they say, oh, no, we are not selling, you want to increase the valuation, you bring it out and say, this is what we agreed a year ago. And they said, if this
offer. The difference of having managers and agents like Mendes, for instance.
Yes, of course, this big agent, they will not want to toy with their players.
Yes, but they'll make everything clearly written and stated.
Because big agents also have influence amongst other agents. If you want to bring in a player to that club, they'll tell other agents, don't take your player to that club.
Yeah, this is what's going on.
This is what they do. But in this case, you don't have this super agent. So you have to play to your own strength, which is to ensure that everything is written black and white, so that everybody will be safe. I mean, this bad blood of star players leading club with leaving club sides with this sort of energy is actually not good for anybody. It's not good for anybody.
For the club side.
Yes, it's not good for anybody, because now tomorrow, if eventually he make the move to Liverpool and Liverpool is visiting Newcastle United, the fans will be hostile towards him.
Yeah, very, very hostile.
And Liverpool might even be forced not to actually play him that day.
Yeah, to leave him out of that game.
It's not healthy for the game. It's not healthy for anybody.
And even for the club side, signing future big players will also become an issue.
It's difficult.
Because this is how Newcastle treats their players, and they renege on agreement and so on. Because now they're looking for a striker. I heard they just tabled £50 million from Wisa. Come on, Wisa, £50 million.
And the big question there, Jerry, now is, I think these club sides are beginning to forget that as much as players have influence, club sides also have influence. See, these players themselves also, the influence that they have is so enormous that, forget the agent, a young player might want to move to Newcastle and they will call Isaac. What do you think?
Yeah.
And he's going to say, come.
Don't even try it.
Don't even try it. Or even if not even Isaac, he might even call Isaac's friend or the person, somebody of the same country with Isaac.
Say no, don't
say,
go there.
No, what happened to my teammates here? Come on. Don't go there. That place is not a good place to go. Go to this other place. Because of the way they do business. These are the things they should always look out for. The long-term effect of
Newcastle wants to play like a big club.
That's exactly what they want to do.
And forgetting they still have a lot to do. They have to win titles. They have to play with
They also have to improve wages. Because these are the things you can
still not.
Yes, you also have to bring in a coach that is high profile. Yes, that people want to look at and say, yes, okay, there's a project going on here, let me go there. Eddie is a decent manager, but these are not the kind of managers you use to actually set up a project.
Yeah.
You use high profile when the club is very stable. See, the likes of Arne Slot will never have coached a club like Liverpool.
If he had not won titles even at England.
If Liverpool were at the point of growing, Liverpool has gotten to a peak in English football, you know that, okay, we already have a structure that any manager that comes in will be able to, even if you are decent, you do your job.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola has set a standard for Man City. They will not go below.
Yeah. They cannot go for an Eddie Howe, for instance.
They will not go below Pellegrini's status of manager when he leaves.
Sure.
This is so. I mean, I don't know why Newcastle is doing this, but I also understand that they want to. But you have to fulfill all the conditions. You don't start.
But why is it that even for big clubs, for instance, it's easier for them to let players go when the players is trying to force his way out?
Because they are very attractive.
They will always get.
It's just like a man who ends well, who has a very decent job, and then a woman is trying to leave him. You're like, okay, fine, it's going to hurt you, but you know that you always back somebody that is even better.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the and that's why people like that will not even fight you. Okay,
no one will have his way.
At the end of the day, because if he's not leaving, the problem and the tension in Newcastle will continue. He might decide not to play. Who loses?
And they might decide to hold on to his wages. If
if they decide to hold on to his wages, they have to go to CAS.
Wow, pretty difficult situation for Newcastle.
The only thing is, I am foreseeing them either having a conversation or Isak
Does
saying,
people need Isak?
or say,
Because they already have a Kitike now, who's doing well. Do they still need Isak? Because they have Gakpo.
Liverpool lost 3 top forwards: Diaz, Nunes, and Diego Jota. Before now just only one person came in, Ekitike. So you understand that they still need at least 2 decent players to actually fill the void. These are the issues. A top club that want to compete on all fronts. Mo Salah is aging. You don't expect him to go all round. He's leaving in December for the Nations Cup. You need somebody that is experienced to also come in. So even if it's not Isak, they need somebody to be there, when the season gets to the peak.
All right. Our time not really our friends. We'll have to wrap it up here. Big thanks, Ikechukwu. Unfortunately, Maiwa could not join us to the end due to some technical glitches. Though rather unfortunate. I want to say we appreciate you, Maiwa, for always being a part of the locker room. Definitely much appreciated. Okay, maybe you just go over and still console Amorim and prepare them for Fulham. Fulham is coming. I can't wait. Anyway, big thanks to the guys behind the scene. Talking about the likes of Victor, Alex, Jeremiah, and of course Hassan. Up next is Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. My name remains Jerry Arpelehar. Saying thanks for being a part of the locker room.